Good morning guys, Chris from the Ultimate Recycler. Welcome back to the shed. I'm standing behind a huge pile of e-waste we've collected this week. So this is episode 18 of the Monday Marathon e-waste processing series. My shed's cluttered already. This doesn't help. A massive pile. We've got 1, 2, 3 big tubs, some large appliances on the top. I think one's a vacuum. It's a Shark, I think. Oh no, this one's a Shark. I think it's a Steam Mop. This one's a vacuum, Russell Hobbs. I can just see the brand. Massive pile of stuff, a lot to go through. We'll try not to dilly-dally. We'll get through it as quick as we can. We'll see what we can save from going to e-waste, where all this would have gone from the charity shop had I not be interested in taking on, the challenge of saving what I can. So we'll go through it. We'll test stuff. We'll make some quick decisions. I don't want to muck around. There's so much to deal with. I've also found a couple of really cool things to flip. In fact, I think there's 3 or maybe 4 items. We should do quite well out of that. So really, it was a massive haul this week. Let's sort it out and we'll make some room on the bench and see what we've got here. Before I move any of it off, here's a different perspective. You can see we've got 3 big boxes full, plus some stuff to flip. I'm pretty happy with some of these, so we'll have a look at those shortly. I think I'll move the boxes off the bench and we'll put some things up, a reasonable amount at a time so that we can see what we're doing. If things are complete and in good condition, we will test them. If they're obviously got some issues and I don't think it's viable, we'll probably just scrap them. So we'll go through it one at a time. We should be able to make some pretty good money this week. Let's start with the items I bought to flip. This one's a 1970s horse theme ice bucket. Oh, hang on, that's not supposed to happen. I think the insert's coming up with a lid. There we go. So it's just a plastic ice bucket, horse head lid, horseshoe, stirrups on the side, sort of a fake leather. It'll be a vinyl. So 1970s for sure, bit quirky, probably made in Japan. They made a lot of quirky stuff in the 60s and 70s. It was only $1. I'll get 10 for that pretty easily. The next thing's a really nice piece. It's a shaving mug. So when the guys used to shave with a razor, and you would have, I think you'd have a shaving brush and your shaving soap in there, and then you'd swish it around on top and you'd brush your chin and your beard, or your potential beard, and perhaps you even used a cutthroat razor. I think that's for resting the brush or the razor, I'm not sure. I've never actually used one. Probably the razor across there. I think the brush sort of sat in the end. It's a nice early one, and it's not marked. Oh, it is marked. It says made in Japan. I'm pretty sure it's actually Noritake. It's the right sort of colours for Noritake. I would guess that it's maybe 1930s. So I think that's quite a nice piece. It was only $1. I ended up giving the charity shop a bit more for what I bought this week because these were such good items. I think I'd get $25 or $30 for that. It does need a wash up, but it's a nice collectible piece. People do collect shaving related items. The other items I bought are just a couple of glass trays. Now, they're a little bit Art Deco. They've got sort of, I don't know what era they'd be. I don't think they're Depression era, maybe a little bit later. But they're undamaged, and they're probably just pressed glass. But they're only $2 each. Perhaps not as much of a bargain as the other 2 items. I think I felt like I wanted to spend a bit more because I got such a good buy with that shaving mug. So $2 each, $4. We would probably get 10 for the pair. That's not quite tripling. I normally like to triple, but I do so much better on the other stuff. I'll keep these cheap enough. So $5 each, 10 the pair. They just need a quick wash up. So did pretty well this week with the items I bought. Let's have a look at what e-waste I scored. Now we'll start with this box. It's probably all jumbled up because sometimes I box it, sometimes it's already boxed when I get there, and often parts end up in different spots. This is a Ronson, I'm guessing it's a slicer of some sort. Let's get the cord out of here. Oh, that's the base. Oh yeah, that must fold down. Yeah, I think it's a meat slicer or a bread slicer. There we go. An electric one, so you don't have to crank the handle. I can't say I've had one of these before. That would adjust the thickness of your slice. Yep, it alters that backboard. The blade looks pretty good. It looks quite sharp. The item's clean enough. I'll have to check out and see what they're worth, but I think that one, other than a wash up, I think it actually is probably good enough to sell. It's missing one of the little rubber stoppers, but we'll certainly need to test it. It's only going to have an electric motor in here. Anyway, we'll plug that in and check it out, but I think a wash up and that should be a saleable item. Now, this fell out before. We've got a couple of globes. Are they LED ones or are they just fluoro globes? There's only one in the packet, and I think that's just a fluorescent tube. Looks like an unused one, but most people don't replace lights with fluorescents now. They replace them with LEDs. I might hang on to it in case it fits a particular lamp I get. I do have a few fluoros in stock. Alright, we have a little mix master here which looks like it's had some major issues with the cord. Oh goodness, it's all been twisted up. And someone's put some tape around there, so clearly that's no good. Not worth putting new cord on it. What brand is it? I can't even see a brand on it. Made in China. Don't know, but that's just going to be scrap. It's got a okay electric motor in there. It's not super light. It's only 2 screws to get in there, so we might pull the electric motor out, chop the cord off, and we will have, here's the little beaters. I will hang on to these because quite often, in fact in a video a while back, I had a little blender or mixer that was missing one of the beaters, or one of them had broken. So we'll hang on to the beaters. We might use them down the track, but otherwise we'll scrap that item. Okay, this is probably part of that slicer, I think. What's down the bottom? Something's wrapped up in bubble wrap. No idea what this is. I certainly didn't pack this box up. Possibly came from a garage sale where this was what they couldn't sell. Just a speaker. A wall mount speaker. Hopefully there's another one. There should be. Yes, it looks like there is down here. It's actually a double speaker. So yeah, they should sell okay. We have some wire with it, so that's fine. Need a bit of a clean up. Lots of speaker wire. Well, that's good. That'll give us some value for insulated copper wire. That doesn't have to go with the speakers. What's this? A headset, a gamer's headset, I guess. Feels like a very cheap one. Turtle Beach. Don't know, but we'll have to check to make sure it's not an expensive brand. Little microphone. Just the one earpiece. Looks in good condition. So we'll check them out. We might be able to get $5 for it. The cord's okay. But I'll check the brand in case it's a really good brand. Oh, we have more speakers. So it must have been a 4-speaker set. Lots of wire. We'll save all the wire. That'll be good. So the other speaker must be under the front here. Oops. There we go. So we have 4 Yes speakers. Makes me think they're a very cheap Chinese brand. Oh, we got 5. Oh, that's like a center speaker. So it's a 5-speaker set. Lots of wire, so that's cool. And we'll sell the speakers all in one go, I think. And we've got some good bubble wrap to use. I always like getting bubble wrap. Anyone that does eBay work appreciates bubble wrap, either new or second-hand. So not much left in the box. What do we got down here? We have a blender jug. Feels in pretty good condition. So the rest of the blender may be in another box. There's the lid for it. And the little top piece. And that's just a little water jug for a clothes iron. There's no iron in this box though. We do have a little hairbrush. Electric hairbrush. Rechargeable by the looks of it. Little USB. That's a fairly modern, the USB-C plug. I use those cords quite often. So it's quite modern. I guess it just warms up and it just is a warm hairbrush. Doesn't look like it's an actual dryer. I can't see a fan in it. So USB charge. We'll check that out. Might be worth something. So that's the end of our box. It looks like something has leaked in here, but nothing that we've had. So that's fine. The box can go in the recycle bin. It's not good enough to keep. We'll get this stuff off the bench and we'll go through the next one. Okay, I thought we should deal with the stuff we've got out of this box before we get more, and then I can move it up onto the deck out of the road, where we'll go through it all at the end of the video and just see how we went. So this is a Ronson slicer. I googled it. It's called a food slicer, but it can cut bread, meat, cheese, all sorts of stuff. It looks okay. It's a bit dirty and it's a little bit sun colored, or affected by the sun, this end, but it's not damaged. I did find a few reviews on them. Apparently they were terrible to clean. It's an older model. It's older than 20 years. It's an old style plug, but if it still works fine, it'll be good for someone for slicing bread or something, I would imagine. The two switches here, I think, are just a double switch, so that before you actually have the blade spinning, this hand has to have both switches pressed, therefore it's out of the road. And the other bit we found was this sliding section that you put your bread or whatever on. So let's plug it into the appliance tester quickly and see what it does, and if it's safe. Now it's all plastic except the blade, so we can't put our earth probe anywhere. Looks like the appliance tester likes it. Let's see if it works. Oh. Okay, it's got an issue. Now, hands off the switch. Let's turn it off just to be safe. Now, something's either come loose or broken in there. Feels like a bush or a bearing is very worn. Oh, that actually comes out. Oh, the gear's broken. So the plastic has fatigued. It's actually cracked in two spots and right through there. So that's not going to work. All right, this will have to go to Ewaste. So we will just chop the cord off it. I don't think it's worth getting be careful with the blade. Don't think it's worth getting an electric motor out of it. Doesn't feel particularly heavy. So I think we'll just fold this back up how it was, and that can go to Ewaste. The blade itself, is it stainless steel? No, it's just normal steel. Okay, just to be safe, I think I'll put the blade back in here. Then it's less likely to cause any injuries to anyone. And there we go. Okay, so we will just chop the cord off this one. We'll do this right now, and then it's dealt with. So I chop the plug off, and the cord that end. We're going to end up with a fair bit of wire. I've got all the wire off these speakers as well, so we'll weigh the wire up at the end because I think we'll have a fair bit. Let's get this out of here. Now, while we're dealing with e-waste, I checked out this headset. They are very cheap. Some of the Turtle Beach ones were fairly expensive. This is a much cheaper variety, and I was going to plug it in to check it, and the plug's almost broken off. The cords had it there. Looks like it's been chewed actually. So we will salvage the cord, but really the rest of it's just going to e-waste again. I found a couple in good working condition, didn't even sell for $5, or well, I think one was only $3. So new they might have been about 30, but obviously with the broken cord I'm not going to fix that. So more e-waste, more electrical wire, and the little mixer here, same deal. The cord has had it. It's not worth putting a new cord on it. So we're going to end up with a good pile of wire. And it's only 2 screws to pull this apart. Let's get the motor out of it. Must be 3 screws. Oh yes, there's a little sticker over here. No, that doesn't cover the hole. There's another hole there, but it looks like a blank hole, unless it's got a rubber plug in there. I think it has got a plug. Alright, I think we'll give that a hit with the hammer. Okay, a couple of hits with the hammer is much easier than trying to get a screw out. So yeah, there was a screw in the bottom of that one. So I think there's only 2 holding the motor assembly in. And we'll snip a few wires. And there we have the electric motor and little gear thing. And that can all go as an electric motor. There's a fair bit of copper in that, and it's old enough that it will be copper. So that gets us some value. I might save just a couple of the longer wires off the switch, and they can now just go to e-waste with all our other plugs and bits. As usual, we'll also save our bits of hardware to put in jars Incidentally, I sold a couple of jars full of hardware over the weekend, just $5 for a kilo, but that's much better than scrap steel price. I might as well put these in this little iron jug as we're going. The other thing was these speakers. I did check them all just quickly, just ran a wire from my amplifier to check them all. They all work beautifully. I did a quick check on the Yes brand, YESS, didn't find hardly any references. I suspect it may have even been one of those cheap white van electronic stereo scam things where people go around in white vans selling stereo systems really cheap for cash. I think they're fairly cheaply made, but they actually sound alright. They'd be great in a shed. They've got mounts to hang on the wall. So I'm probably going to put $10 on the lot. So we've got 4 individual ones and 1 centre one, but you could use them just 2 or whatever you want to do. We'll try to get $10 for those. They cleaned up quite well and they test fine. The other thing I tested was this little heated hairbrush. It is a straightener. It's a hair straightener brush, and I didn't even have to charge it because by holding the bottom button on, it actually comes on. It's still got charge and it heated up quite well. It works fine. Looks as new. Can't see a brand on it, but I did check out online. You can buy them for around about $20 odd, $25 I think. So we'll just put $5 on that with the charging cable, but it doesn't even need to clean. That's great. Very quick sale hopefully for that one. Now the next tub, what have we got in here? Well, there's a toaster. It's a Sunbeam, so it's a better brand, but it's very dirty inside. And toasters I have trouble selling unless they're really clean. Don't know if it's worth going to the trouble of cleaning it up. Now, the crumb trays would clean up okay, but Sunbeam's certainly a better brand. I guess we could test it. I might try and brush it out a bit. If it works okay, we'll try and clean it up a bit. If it has any other issues, it's going to be scrapped. If it was a cheap brand, I would scrap it straight off, but everything else looks okay on it, so that depends on a test. That one, this looks like an LED light, hanging light. So, hang on. Is this all with it? What's this? I don't know what, I thought it was an antenna, but no, I'm not sure what it is. This all plugs together. Alright, we'll investigate this a little bit further once we get the rest of the stuff out of the box. Alright, we have a couple of lamps. Older style, black shades, ceramic bases, older cord. Definitely an older cord. They look maybe even 70s. They're going back a bit. But actually, the shades are not too bad. I think they're good enough to sell, as long as the cords are okay and they test out alright. Got an old compact fluorescent globe in there. I can't see any damage, so I think we'll test those. Oh, that one's been a bit squashed. Still, we could sell them at $5 the pair. That's certainly a lot better than what we'd get just for the wire. And someone may choose to put new shades on them. The lamps I sold the other week just had the bases. They were blue bases and we sold them. So I guess we'll check these. That one's got an incandescent globe in it. Alright, so I won't be going to too much trouble cleaning these up, just wiping the dust off if they work fine and if they test safe. This is the pad that belongs to that Steam Mop, I think, so we'll get to that later. Here we have a electric knife. Now we had one last week and I've still got it, and it had 2 lots of blades with it. I wonder if they fit this one. This is a Sunbeam electric carving knife. This one may have blades with it though, and that one will sell well if it works fine. It looks okay, it looks clean enough, so we'll just test that one when we get to it. Here we have an older extension cord. Now I don't sell extension cords unless they're near new. This has the older plug, so it's at least 20 years old. So that one's just going to give us, once we remove the plugs, that one's just going to give us some more insulated wire to sell. That's fine. I'm happy to get extension cords. They weigh very well. Now we have a neck fan. Ice porcelain cooling. Interesting. Don't think I've seen one of these before. Looks in good condition. Original packaging. I gather it's a USB chargeable one. Very flexible, I guess it's supposed to be. Oh, yes. So it does charge via a USB cable. I don't think we have one here, but that's working. 3-speed fan. Wow, it blows air down the back, up the top. Oh, that's pretty cool. And it has a cooling function. I don't know how that works. I wouldn't think it's going to be a refrigerated air conditioner. Cooling. And it's hardly an evaporative because you don't have water anywhere. It sounds good. It sounds like a new one. Okay. Well, I don't know much about that. I'll have to do some checking. We have the original box, the instructions. I'll find out how much there were online, but I'm sure I'll be able to sell this. We don't have a charger for it, but it's a fairly standard USB cable. I'll check that out online. I'm sure we can sell that. I just don't know how much for at the moment. And the only other thing in this tub is a big, heavy Sanyo blender, food processor blender, and that's probably where that jug goes with. So a retro food processor or blender. Sanyo were a good brand. It's very old though. It'd be 1970s, I'd say, by the look of it. I don't know if it's going to have a lot of value being so old. It doesn't appear to have been damaged at all. Not sure what that does. Got a good sized electric motor in it. Juicer blender. All right, we'll check that one out. It may have some value if it runs all right and tests safe. But I'm not going to clean it up unless I'm confident I can sell it. Time to test some of these items now, and we can then clean them up or scrap them accordingly. Let's try the lamps. There's no real scrap value in lamps, of course, unless, well, only really the cord. And I do save the fittings. Righto, we have power on. I don't know if the globe's any good. Oh yeah, that one works. So that's just a 40-watt incandescent globe. And the unit looks pretty safe. So switch feels okay. So that will be, just need a wipe over because it's a bit dusty on the base. And that one can be sold. Let's see if we have a pair that are operational. This one goes straight away. What's the switch like? Yep. That feels all right. So again, just a wipe over. Maybe brush the shade off just with a soft brush just to get rid of some of the dust. And I think we'll just put $5 on the pair. Oh no, let's go 5 each. Let's go 10 the pair. Given, as I said earlier, that we did sell the bases alone last week. So they might suit someone's retro pad. Okay, so they just need a clean up. Now, will the toaster go? Let's get that camera down in a better position. Okay, we'll power the toaster up. Do we have an earth? Yes, it passes its earth test. And is it operational? Okay, that's working. All the elements heating up. Yes, they're all working. Okay, so it works fine. Let's turn the thermostat down and see if it pops up. I'll just leave it to make sure it pops up. The thermostat's set pretty low. Okay, that popped up. So it all works fine. I will give it a bit of a clean up. I'm not going to go to too much trouble. We might make this one just $5. Certainly a Sunbeam will get better money if it's in good condition, but this one has been fairly well used. But it still has some life left in it. So that needs to cool down, of course, now before we clean it up. Let's check out this Sunbeam Carve Easy electric knife. I haven't found the knife blades yet. Hopefully they're in the other box, because I don't know if the ones I have at the shop, the spare ones, will actually fit it. Let's power it up. There's no metal on it. That sounds pretty good. Looks like it runs fine. Needs a little bit of a clean. Alright, hopefully we'll find the blades for that one. And we might get $10 for that if it cleans up okay. Okay, I did a bit of checking on this neck fan. This particular model, I found a couple of websites selling them for around about $70 to $80. One of them had them listed as a retail price of $140, marked down to $70. There are a lot of cheap ones on eBay that don't seem to be quite as elaborate as this one. I don't have the USB cord though. Oh yes I do, there it is. Alright, geez, given that the cord's still in its little bag, I doubt is it sealed? Oh, maybe. I'm not sure this has ever been used, to be honest. It may have been a gift and no one, yeah, that's never been unwrapped. So I think we'll get 10 for it pretty easily. Might as well put the cord back in where it's supposed to go. It's certainly been unpackaged, but I don't think it's been used. With the instructions, I reckon we'll get 10 for it. It appears to work exactly how it should, and I'm pleased the cord's in there. So that should be an easy flip for $10. Don't even have to clean it. Now this thing, I believe, is a camping light. It has a 12 volt cigarette lighter socket, a long cord with a switch. The cord goes through this thing, which I think is just a telescopic boom. And it opens out a long way. I might take it outside and see how far it opens out. It's a bit like a fishing rod, but it's only got the one hook on it. The rest of it's just lightweight aluminium that telescopes out. More cord the other end. So I'm guessing if you're out camping, you could prop this up against a tree or against a high branch, and you could have a nice outdoor light hanging from the end of the boom. So we'll plug that in and see if it works in a second, and I might take it outside and actually measure it to see how long it is. But it's an LED light, it should work fine. The cord's undamaged and there's lots of it. It's actually got a dimmer on it as well. So I haven't looked up a price on these, but I think we're going to get at least $10 for this one, assuming it works okay. So we'll check that one soon. The last thing to check here is this blender. Now, I checked online, it turns out that this is missing the juicer part. There's a juicer attachment with a large box that clips on. That's what these are for. And this unit doesn't have it, unless it's in the other box, but I didn't see it because it's fairly large. So this only has the blender jug. And as I said earlier, it's quite dirty and it's quite old. It'll be back to the 70s. But let's see if it runs okay, because someone still might like it as a blender. The glass jug seems to be in pretty good condition. Let's power it up. Now it doesn't seem to have any safety switches, which is interesting, but then back in the 70s they did that. So blender. That sounds pretty good actually. I take it these are all different speeds. That sounds very powerful, and we have a flash button which is like a pulse, I guess. So I reckon this is probably worth selling. It would be more robust than the modern ones you'd buy nowadays. The jug might be really good for crushing up ice. It seems to have lots of power, but there's no safety switch, so that will probably go. Let's try the pulse. Yeah, so it goes without the jug. I guess you'd have to be careful of that, but that's what they did back then. At least there's no sharp blades there. But it would give you a fright if you touched the button while you were holding it. The jug itself seems really good. Bearings feel good. So I found some online for sale in the States. They were asking, one guy was asking well over 100 US. The other guy was asking about 50 or 60, I think. And that was with the big juicer assembly. So I reckon we'll just sell this as a retro blender. And we'll just put $10 on it. I'm going to give it a really quick clean. I'm not going to go to too much trouble. But I reckon we'll get 10 for it. It tested safe. It looks fine on the appliance tester. Let's give this light a test now. It has 3 or 4 plugs down the line, so you can unplug it all into various sections. I've got a 12 volt power supply here with a cigarette lighter output, so we can power that up. Oh, there we go. Looks good. Where's our dimmer? So this control should dim it. Yep, very nice. And off. And that's pretty bright. Very good. What a great camping light. I'll have to check out and see what they're worth. It's branded Austrail. and with the boom, well, I'll go and measure it actually and see how long it is. Okay, I've just extended that boom. It's nearly 4 meters, actually a bit over 4 meters, and the light just clips on the end, so it would rest on a tree branch or something quite well for a camping situation. I guess that's what it's made for. Pretty cool. Now I've changed my mind on this blender. I was just starting to clean it and I noticed there's a crack. I didn't see it before through this section. It's only the one spot, but anything that spins at high revolutions that has a crack in it cannot be classed as safe. So I'm going to scrap it after all. That's exactly why I didn't clean it up first. I just started to clean it. It probably really wasn't worth the effort to clean for only $10 or so, but as it is now, we're just going to scrap it. We'll add to our electric wire pile. We'll get the motor out of it. Should be a pretty decent motor in there actually. Okay, how quickly can we get into this one? At least there's no security screws on these old things. That's all holds the bottom cover on, so we have plenty of wiring, a decent sized motor. So it should be easy enough to get out fairly quickly. I might just save this connector block as well. I'll just snip all these wires for now, and we'll keep the connector block. I will undo these little nuts here. I'll get a bit more hardware. It's easy to get. Okay, that can go in our shred steel. We have a decent cord to add to our electrical wire pile, and there'll be more wire coming out of here. Now pretty well just the motor's all we want out of there. It screws in from this side, so the screws will be under these pads. It's got it. It'll take a bit to get out. And this drive boss has to come off this end. Sometimes the motors have a slot in the end of the armature shaft to hold it. This one doesn't. It does have a fan there we can probably hold. And once you hold one end, it usually unscrews. Very long thread on that. There we go, that's got it. So there's our motor free. That's all we want out of it really. We'll just snip some wires off. Because we get about $1.20 per kilo for the motors, but we get over $5 per kilo for the wires. So we might as well take them off. So there we go, that can go with our electric motor pile. And some more wire. Right, the rest of this can just go to Ewaste. There's only really some switches in there and a couple of brackets. They can go with it, and the plug. A little bit of rubbish here with these old rubber mounts. I'll keep those little rubber washers, they're okay. And we have some hardware and a connector block. Time now to have a look in the last tub. We have a touch lamp that looks like it needs, looks like it's been dropped. Where's the cord go? Down here. So the glass isn't broken, but it's come out of its holder. That's fine, we can fix that up. The shade's loose, the top's been bent. Might be able to straighten it. The metal is usually die cast and it doesn't bend very well, it normally just snaps. It's straightened up a bit. We'll try and, I think I have another top for these anyway, so it'll tighten up alright. The lamp itself looks okay, no damage, so we can check that and see if the actual touch lamp works. Let's do that straight away, then we can get it off the bench. Because if it doesn't work, I'm not going to try and fix it. Okay, we have power on. There we go. These only work with incandescent globes too. If you've got one with an LED in it, it won't work. High, medium and low. Oh, my hand's touching it underneath. All right. So that's good. We'll just neaten that one up. I usually get $20 for these touch lamps. I sold one just on the weekend. It's an older one. It's probably 1980s, maybe early 90s, but they still seem to sell well. All right, here we have a mini sewing machine. I better run this past Christine. I don't think she'll want it. She's got more than enough sewing machines. I think she would even agree with that. It's probably only a cheap hobby type one. I'm assuming that's what's in the box. It is tiny. I guess it'd be useful for taking on holidays if you need to do some emergency sewing repairs. Looks to be okay. Runs off a little, oh, it's got a little mini foot pedal too. So I guess we'll see if that works. I don't know what sort of value they're going to have. I wouldn't expect very much. We'll have to check that one out. Another box here, we have a Canon little photo printer, is it? Compact photo printer, yes. No idea if these are worth anything. All the cords are packaged up. Oh, there we go. A selfie. So I know nothing about that. We'll do a bit of checking on that one too. Alright, here's our iron with that little water jug for it. It looks like it's got a bit of corrosion inside, so the sole's not very good on it. What brand is it? It's a Cambrook. Don't know if it's worth cleaning that up or not. Cord appears to be okay. The iron looks quite okay otherwise. Maybe there's something you can run through them just to clean a little bit of the corrosion off them. The Teflon looks okay, but we'll have to give that a bit of a clean up. I don't know, it might only be $5. I have to check on that one. If they're only a cheap iron in the first place, I probably won't bother. Looks like we have a juicer in here. Here we go, here's the base for it. Nice and clean. It's a Black & Decker. Fairly modern, although it hasn't got the sleeves on the pins, so must be getting back a bit. Well, that looks neat enough. If it works fine, that should sell. Probably only a $5 item, but it appears to be complete and undamaged. Alright, easy squeeze. Alright, we'll give that a quick test soon. A little desk lamp. And that one that looks good actually. So we'll check that. That'll be a saleable item. Here we have some sort of, oh, it's lost the neon light cover on the top. It's clean enough. Oh, it's badly scratched on the Teflon. I'm not sure you can see that. Someone's gouged it with something. So that will just be scrapped. We won't do that in this video. This video is going long enough. I think the sides are normally like a cast aluminium. It's not stainless steel, or at least it's not non-magnetic stainless steel. But we do have two large plates that will be cast aluminium. I'll do a separate video on these ones. I've been promising that for a while now. We'll do that soon. This one can go in the pile to do that. We will chop the cord off though, as far as this video goes, because we've got quite a pile of electric wire. So we'll just include this as e-waste for now, but we will be scrapping it out. And the last thing in this box is a stick blender, a Ronson, very yellowed from the sun. Alright, I don't know how we're going to go with that. If it was a, oh, actually it's cracked. The casing's cracked, so that's no good at all. That'll just be scrapped. I was going to say if it was a bar mix one or a bay mix, they sell quite well. This one, I don't know if the Ronson ones sell well, but not in that condition, so we'll get the electric motor out of that one as well. A bit more cord. And what else was in our bag here? Just the mounting bracket for it and some fittings. Well, they're just plastic, they'll have to go in the bin. Or at least they could probably go in with the e-waste. And that finishes our tubs. We still have that Steam Mop and the upright vacuum. Is this worth trying to pull apart? It'll have some screws behind these covers. We might just hit this one with a hammer. That's the easiest way to get into these. If you're just going to scrap them for the motor, there we go, as easy as that. So they can go in with our electric motors. I'm not going to worry about any of those bits of wire. I've just plugged this little mini sewing machine in. It's very light. It's really not much more than a toy. It's a bit of a gimmick. The foot pedal it's just so flimsy and cheap feeling. Now I've plugged it in, and I think we just turn it on here, on off, and the motor goes. Oh, nothing's driving. Oh, okay, that runs through that too. I think it's either stripped a belt or it's probably a plastic drive gear that's broken. And it's not going right through its cycle anyway. Something's jamming. Oh, there we go. Oh, it's got a big... Something's very lumpy in there. Yeah, it sounds like it's broken a gear or stripped a gear. It's all going to be plastic. I noticed there's no needle. There's no bobbin that goes on here. And there's no bobbin in there. So it's really not any use to anybody. I did check out online. They seem to sell for, I don't know, about $20, $30. They're very cheap items anyway. So I don't think that's worth trying to sell. We might just keep the power pack. It's a linear power supply, so it's a heavier transformer in there. It's 6 volt. So sometimes I am looking for a 6 volt power supply, so I'll hang on to that. But I think I decided in a recent video that all the common size linear ones I'm going to break open just for the transformer and cut the wire off them. But I might hang on to this one, being a 6 volter. Alright, I think I'll just chop the cord off that. This, oh, it looks like it takes batteries as well. Okay, it's never had batteries in it. There's no corrosion. I might save some of the terminals. I have another job that I had a look at the other day that I do need some clean, not corroded terminals, so it's worth saving those springs, whatever I can get out. So I'll just salvage a few parts of this and it can go to e-waste. The cardboard box can go in the recycle bin. What else did I discover when I had a look online? This photocopier. It's an older one. It appears to be all here with the charger and everything and a few other bits and pieces. But it takes a much older USB little input thing than what's current. So it's been around for a while. The cartridge thing that goes in there is in the box. The cords are for it, but I don't know how to use it, and I'm not prepared to invest half an hour to an hour of my time to work it out. So I'm just going to put that in the shop for $10 as it is and write untested on it, and someone else can have a bit of fun with it. I did see one of these power supplies sell online for more than that. So they're a 24 volt power supply. But look, if I get $10 for the kit, someone else can have a play with it and hopefully it works for them. The Cambric iron, I was just having a quick look at the model number online. They didn't seem to bring much, but I noticed it's got cracks to the casing. So that's enough for me to fail it on a test anyway. So I'm going to cut the cord off it. Get a little bit more wire. It's actually quite a long cord, this one. Some people save these fabric ones for doing old, restoring old radios and things because, you know, that's nice to have the old fabric covered cord. It is an older plug. Do I need to keep that? Don't think so. I'm keeping too much. We're just going to put that in our electric wire bin. Sometimes with irons, I'll pull the top off them for the irony aluminium base plate, but it's a bit of work and I'm short on time, so I'm just going to put that one in with e-waste. So the only two things left on the bench is this desk lamp we've got to test. Hopefully it's okay. Does it have a globe in it? Yes. Let's try the... So there we go. It's on. It's an LED, I think. It comes... It's an LED globe. Yeah, it is. Alright, so that's alright. Good little desk lamp with a switch. In good condition. I'm going to ask $10 for that one. Barely needs any cleaning up doing to it either. And this Black & Decker Easy Squeeze juicer. I had a quick look online. I didn't actually find any. This one looks very clean. At least very clean in the top. Let's see if it works. Now, they're normally activated when you press half of a lemon or an orange on it. There we go. Goes either direction. Now it's all going the same direction. I don't know what causes it to go the other way. There we go. Not sure. It might be random. So that's in good condition. It's nice and clean. There's no issues with it. I think we'll put 10 on this. The last little juicer type thing like this I sold pretty quickly. And the appliance tester likes it. It's all plastic, so there's no earth to check. All right, quick $10 there. And now the last two things to check in this marathon. We have the Shark Steam Mop, which looks as new. The pad just velcros on, so I've just stuck that on. I've checked them out online. They appear to retail at around about 170 Australian. Second-hand market for these, I find them a bit difficult to sell, but we'll plug it in and see if it works. It doesn't look like it's had much use. I'm thinking about $30 on it if it works fine. I don't want these things hanging around. The Russell Hobbs vacuum is essentially, these things are essentially just what we used to call a dust buster. You know, just that's all your vacuum is that little thing. And it just sits in a frame so that you can actually vacuum your floors without bending over. Notoriously, they are very poor on suction. This one's obviously needs a bit of a clean out. It's got some dust in it. The chargers with it and the charging dock. So if it goes, and I guess we can see if there's any charge in it. Oh, it switches tight. There we go. So it works. Not sure why that switch is so tight. It should connect to another switch up here. And we'll see if it goes from this one. Yeah, that's better. We might need a little bit of deoxys spray in there just to give it a bit of a lube. It does work, but when you push down, it doesn't seem to slide. It sounds cheap, to be honest. I did read a couple of reviews when I was quickly trying to find a price for these. I didn't actually see this model anywhere for sale, so it must be discontinued. The reviews weren't flattering at all. 1 star, 2 stars, very poor suction. So yeah, I don't think it's a good piece. I'll clean it out. I'll make sure the charger works, but obviously it does because it's got plenty of power in it now as far as what I expect it to sound like. I'm not going to vacuum my shed floor. It will kill it instantly. I think it would struggle with the lightest of dust. But I reckon it certainly looks the part. I'd probably just put $20 on it. Someone might find this useful for cleaning their car out and not actually use the actual upright frame. So there we go. Well, this one's pretty well tested, isn't it now? We'll just make sure it charges. I'll see if the Steam Mop builds up some steam. And there, we'll probably go 30 on the Steam Mop and 20 on the vacuum. So the vacuum appears to be charging fine. And the Steam Mop seems to steam, as it should. It's got a little setup here where you push the shaft down and it releases steam. So I guess as you're using it, that shaft gets moved and it's steaming away happily. But if you leave it sit, it actually stops steaming. So interesting how that works. Anyway, it appears to be in good condition. So I'll stick with my prices, 30 and 20. Well, this certainly was a big deal, at least a lot of stuff, and you can see it's all spread out here on the deck. And again, I've mentioned this before, I have to do this on our deck because there's not enough room in my shed. So we have some bubble wrap to use, we have some cardboard for recycling, all these goodies to resell, and the vacuum and the Steam Mop, and some lamps, and a few kitchen appliances. I didn't find the blades for the electric knife, but hopefully the ones I've got at the shop will suit. The camping light, a few little extras there, the fluoro tube, that little water jug in there has some hardware and screws in it, and a couple of beaters. We have quite a lot of wire. There's actually about $7, a bit over $7 worth of wire, and we've got 3 electric motors, so which is about $2.50, so almost $10 worth of scrap there. And this is what's going to Ewaste, so really only 1 crate. And I will be scrapping out that Sunbeam sandwich press. So not much to go to the Ewaste, quite a lot to sell, some scrap for me to stack away, some few bits to use, and some packaging and some cardboard for recycling. So we've saved a lot of it from going to the transfer station, and it should add up to a fair bit. Let's go and have a look at the notepad. So now it's time to look at the facts and figures of this particular video, and everything's priced out there pretty well as mentioned. The Sunbeam electric knife, I didn't actually have the knife blades for it. The ones I had at the shop didn't fit. So I've crossed that up for now. I will keep the knife in case I turn some up because it's in good condition. And we get those sort of knives quite often, so I'm sure I'll find some to fit. The LED camping light on that long boom, I think it might be a fiberglass telescopic boom. I said aluminium initially. When you extend it, it bows quite a lot. Now, I had a look online, and you can apparently plant the boom vertical, and then it curves right over, almost like a street lamp. So when it was sold new, it came with a spike to put in the ground. I don't have that. They were over $100 from what I saw, so I've put 20 on that. I think we should get that. It'll work fine leaning up against a tree. So there you go, everything as mentioned. I've taken the $10 off from the Sunbeam electric knife. So 165 potential return, about $10 worth of the motors and the electrical wire, and the things we bought to flip, around about $50 potential return. And I gave them $10, even though it only added up to $6. So possibly around about $225 back on this particular Monday collection from the charity shop. The previous week we've sold the toaster, we've sold the small hairdryer, sold one of the Ryobi chargers, sold the Canon scanner, and I did actually put that up to 10 after some advice in the comments. Apparently they're particularly good for scanning high resolution photographs that your average printer can't do. So they still have a market, even though it's a bit older. One of the kettles is gone, and it turns out the bag that the retro Cambric iron and dryer combo was in, which was like a travel set, was actually a Qantas, I think it was business class or first class amenities bag that was given out to people in the 1990s, 80s or 90s. And so that explains why all the travel adapters for different PowerPoints were in there. It was obviously someone went on a big trip, and that was their iron and dryer they took with them. So I've put $10 on that bag. I did see a lot on eBay that weren't selling, but anyone that collects Qantas stuff may be interested. And the cleaning tool, I kept calling it a spout cleaning tool. Well, a few people picked me up on that. Technically, they're gutters, and the spouts are the downpipes, basically, but I've just called it all spouting over the years. Anyway, you know what I meant. I'm keeping that, and I haven't used it yet, but I need to. It's supposed to rain soon, and I better get my gutters clean. Oh, and I hadn't written on this one. This is where we got that Canadian pewter clock, which you may have seen me do a video fixing. So that was $3 on this lot, and I've put it in the shop for $25. I think I said 20 in the video. But Donna from the US is interested in buying it, so I haven't got back to her, but we'll might be sending it to a subscriber. Part 16, we've still got the Cambric heater left and the larger sort of toasty oven, Aldi brand air fryer oven. I'm surprised that's still there for $10, you know. But anyway, those two are the only items left. We've sold everything else. And if they stay one more week in the shop, they'll be discounted to $5 each. And everything previous to part 16 has been ruled off. So thanks for following another Monday Marathon e-waste processing video. And this one was a bit of a marathon. And it's turned out, well, there was a lot of stuff. And I think it's now Thursday. Well, I know it's Thursday in Australia, so I'll be putting this up today. So it's a bit of a distance from Monday, but we've had a busy week. We have chemo for Christine every Wednesday in Melbourne. That's still going quite well, and we're still updating her channel on her cancer journey, or our cancer journey. We're both sort of tackling it as best we can. Things are going pretty well. The link underneath is for her channel if you want to follow that. And we've had other things going on. It was actually Christine's birthday yesterday as well. So I'm just trying to squeeze these videos in on when I can, and I'm still managing to do one of these each week, and of course I'm still managing to get my emergency storage shed clean out series happening each week, which I have to get onto shortly, so that will be up in a day or two. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you're enjoying all these series. We'll catch you in the next video. Bye for now.